Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. 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 Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. 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 Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
Thank you very much, Krishna, Ram, Balaji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for the opportunity, Prabhu. Thank you.
And now we move to the second part of the evening. We have a speech by a lecture by Govardhan Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. If you can repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this evening, I'll be reading from Bhagavad Gita, as it is, chapter 18, text 65. It's a very famous verse. You can follow along. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuro mami vaishyasi satyam te Pratijani Priyosime. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So this is Krishna speaking to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita. It's towards the end. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this, because you are my very dear friend. Purport. The most confidential part of knowledge is that one should become a pure devotee of Krishna. It's not to make a lot of money. And always think of him and act for him. One should not become an official meditator. Life should be so molded that one will always have the chance to think of Krishna. One should always act in such a way that all his daily activities are in connection with Krishna. He should arrange his life in such a way that throughout the 24 hours, he cannot but think of Krishna. And the Lord's promise is that anyone who is in such pure Krishna consciousness will certainly return to the abode of Krishna, where he will be engaged in the association of Krishna face to face. This most confidential part of knowledge is spoken to Arjuna because he is a dear friend of Krishna. Everyone who follows the path of Arjuna can become a dear friend to Krishna and obtain the same perfection as Arjuna. These words stress that one should concentrate his mind upon Krishna, the very form with two hands carrying a flute, the bluish boy with a beautiful face and peacock feathers in his hair. There are descriptions of Krishna found in the Brahma Samhita and other literatures. One should fix his mind on this original form of Godhead, Krishna. One should not even divert his attention to other forms of the Lord. The Lord has multi-forms as Vishnu, Narayan, Rama, Varaha, etc. But a devotee should concentrate his mind on the form that was present before Arjuna. Concentration of the mind on the form of Krishna constitutes the most confidential part of knowledge. And this is disclosed to Arjuna because Arjuna is the most dear friend of Krishna. Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadammayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaisnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamsha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpati Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshware Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hare Pre Vancha Kalpatribhyascha Kripa Sindhibhyevacha Patitanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you for joining this evening. I'll try to say something beneficial. Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, he was once asked a question, and he replied with, "Do you want me to flatter you or tell you the truth?" What is wrong with flattering a person? What's wrong with flattering a person? Loses interest? Okay. What else? Disappointed. So by flattering someone, it doesn't help the person. If anything, it helps their ego grow. And then they're not willing to take good instructions. So now I can be here and I can tell all of you that you're all pious people performing your duties nicely. But how will this help you to become more Krishna consciousness? How will this help you to become more surrendered to Krishna? So it is my duty to speak heavy and to say something beneficial for every one of us. Chanakya Pandit, he was a great advisor, and he described something very beautiful. He said that everything appears more beautiful when something is related to something in an intimate way. And he described the sky. The sky is very vast, but the sky, when the moon is there and the stars, it appears more beautiful, isn't it? Just like yesterday, there was a half moon, and that made the sky look very beautiful. And a girl is very beautiful by nature, but she looks more beautiful with a husband. And similarly, however ugly a person is externally, they look very beautiful when they're equipped with knowledge. And Chanakya Pandit, he also says there's no comparison between a learned person and a king. Does anyone know why? A king is respected only within his kingdom, maybe due to fear of the king, right? He's respected within his kingdom because of that reason. But a learned person is respected throughout the whole world. So where's the comparison when one is respected everywhere and when one is only respected in his own village? So an ugly person, when he is very knowledgeable, that is his beauty. So similarly, everything looks very beautiful when Krishna is there. And without Krishna, what is the value of life? And you can see it all over the world. Without Krishna consciousness, people are using their time very unwisely, I'll say it like that. They spend so much time looking in the mirror, trying to beautify this dead lump of matter called the body. And we know we're not the body. That's the first teaching Srila Prabhupada gave to us, is that we're not these material elements, but we're the eternal soul within the body. I was distributing books the other day, and I met one person. He was a research scientist, so he knows, all the elements, things like that. And when I asked him, what are the elements of the body? And he was saying, hydrogen, this and that. So I gave him a more simple answer. I said, the body is a dead lump of matter composed of blood, bones, urine, feces, air. And he said, that sounds about right. So when a person identifies with the material body, that's what he is. But the soul is Satchit Ananda. The soul is eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss. So this is known as self-realization. Self-realization means to understand who I really am. A person will look in the mirror and think that's me. But that's a misconception. That's one of the biggest lies that people tell us every day. You look very beautiful. But without the presence of the soul is a dead corpse. See? So what makes the body beautiful is the soul. But yet people have no knowledge of the soul. Kunti Devi, she was the mother of the great Pandavas. And she described in one of the teachings that their city, Hastinapur, looked very beautiful because Krishna was there. And he walked throughout the city with his lotus feet. But then when Krishna was about to leave, she said, this city will not look so beautiful in the absence of Krishna. So similarly, we should analyze our own life, especially my life. I did not come into this, I was not born into this culture. I didn't know who Krishna was. All I knew was nonsense. Partying, drinking, this, that, chasing. Does anyone know what a mirage is? What is a mirage? Not real. Is there any value in a mirage? No? Someone told me it gives hope, but I said it gives false hope. See, the happiness that we seek in this world is compared to a drop of water in the desert. And how can one be satisfied with just a drop? A person is crawling, looking for water, and he sees a mirage, hoping, this will make me happy. It's described in the Srimad Bhagavatam that there was once a man, and he was not paying attention. And then, out of inattentiveness, he fell into a dark well. And this well, on the bottom, was a big snake. And when he looked up, there's a tiger. And he was hanging by a root of a tree. And this root, it was being gnawed on by a black rat and a white rat. Is this person in a good position? No. Similarly, padam padam yad vipadam natesham. This material world is danger in every step. See what this man, how he forgot his very dangerous situation, is that drops of honey would land on his cheek. He'll look up, and then he'll change his situation, and then he'll get a drop of this honey. And in tasting this honey, he forgets how dangerous his situation is. So similarly, when a person gets a little too much opulence from Krishna, a little education, a little wealth, they get so puffed up, and they forget the dangers of this world. Srila Prabhupada, he described who is young and who is old. A person, age-wise, may be very young, but this child can die at any time. And a person is 70 plus years old. So who's younger and who's old? Srila Prabhupada described that old age, it just means someone who's closer to death. And we've known someone, maybe someone very close to us, that have passed away at a very young age. So who's to say we have another 5 years? When we go before Krishna, what do we pray for? I know it's very confidential, right? Krishna, please give me a very beautiful boyfriend. Krishna, please give me a very beautiful girlfriend. Krishna, give me a new car. Give me a new house. Give me this, give me that. But devotional service is not even in that list. And what is the use of these cars when Krishna says, Mityu sarva haraschaham, that is all-devouring death? Krishna takes everything away. Everything away. He takes our beauty. When old age hits, that's when people have this thing called a midlife crisis. In America, you see that, People that are in their 50s and 60s trying to still behave like teenagers. It's very pathetic. They buy a very expensive car hoping they're... I read this nice saying that people spend money that they don't have to buy things they don't need to impress people they don't like. People are in debt, because they're spending things on something that's not really useful to impress people they don't like. How many of you have read Bhagavad Gita? Okay. Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita? Okay. For those that have not, I'll tell you this. What time do we end? Okay. There was once a very proud, puffed up, 8 o'clock? Okay. There was once a very proud, educated man, and he went to India, and he wanted to cross this river. So there was a simple boatman. He was illiterate, you know. So this learned person, he asked the boatman, "Did you see that fish? What type of fish is that?" And the boatman said, "You know, I'm vegetarian. I don't pay attention to the fish. I just let it be." So this learned person said, You haven't studied microbiology. You wasted 25% of your life." So they went on. And then on the other side, they saw this bush. And then the learned person asked the boatman, "Do you know what type of plant that is?" And the simple boatman said no. And then this arrogant person said, "You wasted 50% of your life. You haven't studied botany, you know." And then he looked up in the stars and saw the constellation. I said, "Do you know what star that is?" And then the simple boatman said, "Sir, I know where to go. I've been doing this my whole life. So I didn't study astronomy or anything like that." So the boatman said, "You wasted 75% of your life." He was very proud of his learning. And he went during the monsoon season. It rains, right? Who here has experienced that monsoon seasons? Yeah. So the boat began to fill up with water. And then the learned person said, "We're going to sink." So the boatman said, "We have to swim across." And the learned person said, "I don't know how to swim." So the boatman said, "You don't know how to swim? You wasted 100% of your life." People are so proud of different knowledges, but knowledge that pertains to the soul. What is the goal of life? Why is there suffering? What happens at the time of death? Who is God? These subjects, they have no idea. They have no clue. But Srila Prabhupada, he gave us all the answers in his books. I hated reading. Whatever book I picked up, I put it back down. And in my school, when someone is found reading, they get beat up for it. Imagine that. They're trying to learn, but due to the surroundings, it's unfavorable to pick up a book and read. So I didn't grow up reading. So when I read Srila Prabhupada's books, I was so amazed. I love reading now. I don't know how many times I read the Bhagavad Gita. Anyway, who cares about me? But Srila Prabhupada's books, he gave us all the answers to the questions of life. He taught us the art of living and the art of dying. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, "Yam yam vapi smaram bhavam tyajit yante kalevaram tam tam ivaiti konteya sadatad bhava bhavataha." That whatever state of being one remembers at the time of death, he attains that without fail. So death is the exam, the test for all of us. What will we be thinking of at the time of death? Does anyone know the story of Bharat Maharaj? He was a great king, and it was time for him to renounce his kingdom. So he went to the forest, started meditation. And according to our teachers, they said that he reached bhava, a very elevated state of love of God. But due to lack of association and Krishna's wonderful pastime and his devotees, there was a female deer that was being chased by a tiger. And this deer was pregnant. And the tiger and the mother deer drowned in the water. But this fawn, this king, Bharat Maharaj, he took care of it. And you know, by nature, we have to render service. It's in our inherent nature to take care, to serve. So he began serving this deer, feeding it nicely, giving affection to it. And whenever he was in meditation, the deer would lick his ear, you know. Eventually he became attached to this deer. Imagine that. Almost reaching prema, pure love of God. But he became distracted by a little fawn. So he was so infatuated by the steer, he stopped all his meditation, spiritual practices. And one day he couldn't find this fawn. He was searching the forest here and there. And he slipped. He died, thinking of the deer. So this verse, whatever state of being one remembers, at the end of life, he attains that without fail. So his mind was concentrated on the deer. His heart was full of, the deer. So what type of body did he get in the next life? The body of a deer. This is not folktale, or this is not make-believe. This is real. So he got the body of a deer. And due to his transcendental practices, he was able to remember his previous life. And then as a deer, he stayed by himself. He didn't want to get distracted. So at the end of that life there, he acquired a human body again. And he became Jada Bharat. And he came from a very good family. His father was trying to teach him shlokas and this and that. But he wanted to appear deaf and dumb. He acted like he was stupid. He was afraid of family affection. He was afraid of being entangled again in this material world. So it's a very wonderful story. And then there was a king. Does anyone remember the name of the king? Rahugana, King Rahugana. And he was being carried in a palanquin. And he needed a fourth person to carry his palanquin. And he saw that Jadabhara, his body was very staunch, very strong. So he ordered him, carry my palanquin. So Jadabhara, he was spoken very harshly by this king, And Jadabhara, he tolerated it. And then in the end, Jadabhara told him, when he spoke to this king, this was the first time he spoke to him. And he said, you are thinking that you're the king in this life and I'm your servant. But in the next life, it can be reverse. I can be the king and you can be the servant. So he started speaking transcendental knowledge to this king. And what did the king do? Was he puffed up? No, he became his disciple. So this is the fortune of meeting a great devotee. One who can turn our minds, one who can inspire us. When a person speaks, it should be truthful. It should be according to Shastra, and it should be beneficial. So Jadabhara, he played deaf and dumb, and then finally continued his practice in spiritual life, and he attained love of God. Similarly, in America, we just buy things. We don't even think where it's from, who made it, we just buy it. But silk, it comes from a silkworm. And how does a silkworm, what does it create? A cocoon. It creates a cocoon for itself. But it's funny because when it creates a cocoon, it's stuck there. It cannot escape. And the silkworm person, he boils the cocoon, and then the silkworm dies in its own cocoon. So Srila Prabhupada explains that this cocoon, it's similar to a very materialistic person. It surrounds itself with materialistic family life, materialistic goals, materialistic everything, and then it traps itself in that situation. And how can it escape? Srila Prabhupada said, if someone is bound up hands and feet, where's the question of freedom? The only person who can release him is someone who is free. See? But we have so many desires, and most of it is not devotional service. It's material desires. So similarly, we're creating this cocoon you know. And where is our hope of escaping? It's very difficult. That's what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. Among thousands of men, one will try to achieve perfection. And out of these millions and billions who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows Krishna in truth. Yogis, they want to merge with Krishna. They want some mystic city powers. Karmis, they're just full of desires. You know, they'll never be peaceful, fruitive workers. And then the Gyanis, they try to study by speculative knowledge. You know, but the devotee, they're known as akarma. They don't have material desires. Their desire is, how can I serve Krishna? How can I serve Krishna nicely? One of my friends yesterday, he was asking me a question. He said, do we actually have free will? Because he heard that some devotee gave a newcomer one of the worst answers. He said, we don't have free will. And my friend asked me, you know, maybe you can shed some light. So I explained to him that we do have free will, but it's known as desire. You see, we can only desire. And according to someone's past fruitive activities or karma, Krishna will fulfill that desire. Why is someone suffering and why is someone enjoying? Right. So anyway, I told him that material nature, she tricks us. I used the example last Sunday. A donkey is very lazy. So the washerman, he ties a stick to the back of its neck and a carrot dangling from it. I don't know how often you see this in India. You still see this? Huh? In the villages, okay. In America, we just see it in cartoons, you know. So I wonder where they got it from. But Srila Prabhupada, he mentions it, so it's true. So material nature is dangling a carrot in front of us in the form of a wife or a husband or a car or a big bank account. And we're chasing and chasing and chasing after this. Just like that poor donkey, you know. When the donkey takes one step forward, the carrot also takes one step forward. But yeah, it doesn't learn. It keeps chasing it. Not only that, but it's overburdened with heavy loads of laundry on its back. So people work 10 hours, 12 hours just to maintain this false picture of themselves, you know. Srila Prabhupada, he says, what use is a big house when it's empty? You know, people have to work 2-3 jobs just to make, you know, staying here in the ashram, living in the ashram, we don't even have a bed, you know. We use mats and a sleeping bag. And it's so nice, you know, you don't have to worry about pleasing your neighbor, you know. So people do all of this artificial things. So the donkey is compared to the people of this Kali Yuga. When the sages of Naimisharanya, they were able to see the future. And they said, Prayano Pash Yusaha Sabya Kalawasme Yugejana Manda Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagyahi Padrutaha. Then this iron age of Kali, men almost have but short lives. We don't live very long. We're misguided, unfortunate, always disturbed, and unlucky. You know, people want to test faith. People want to try their luck, so they gamble, buying lottery tickets and going to the casino. And when I was working, one of my coworkers, she said, "I'm going to my second home." I said, "Where's your second home?" She said, "The casino." And I just felt so bad, like, you work so hard to get this money, but then you spend it in the casinos. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada, he forbid us to not gamble. So the perfection of life is to always think of Krishna. Not to think of, please forgive me, not to think of our Tesla, not to think of our Porsche, not to think of our Mercedes, but to think of Krishna. My spiritual master, His Holiness Bhadrinarayan Swami Maharaj, he tells this story. There was a little boy, and he made a little card, and said, instead of loving a cat or a dog, or instead of loving a dog and a cat, why not love Krishna who made all of that? See? So Krishna is our real friend. Suridam Sarva Bhutanam. He's within all of our hearts. So we should try to cultivate this relationship with Krishna. And to become Krishna's devotee. You know, and it says here in the purport, not the different forms of Krishna, because that will not help you to get to Goloka Vrindavan. I'm not sure if anyone here is familiar with the, how should I say it, the planetary systems. But Earth is situated in the middle. There are 7 heavenly planets. There are 7 hellish planets. And above the material world are the Vaikuntha planets. And it's described that this material world is only 1/4 of Krishna's creation. We're stuck in this dark, dense part of Krishna's creation. Yet we're so proud and puffed up. Srila Prabhupada says if Krishna didn't put the sun and the moon, we would be in total darkness. You know. So above the Vaikuntha, there's innumerable spiritual planets, the Vaikuntha planets. But above Vaikuntha is Krishna, Loka, or Goloka Vrindavan. And by meditating and thinking of Krishna in this 2-handed form, we can go to Goloka Vrindavan. If you go to Vaikuntha, that's wonderful. But Srila Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they taught us that higher than worship of Lord Vishnu is Krishna. Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam. That Krishna is the original Vishnu. Now in India, they may have this debate, right? Who is supreme, Krishna or Vishnu? In the Krishna book, Arjuna was helping a Brahmin family bring his children back, and they searched everywhere, you know. So Arjuna said, I can't find them here. So Krishna says, let's go to the spiritual world. So then they met Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu, he was the one that stole these children. And then he said, I just wanted to take darshan of you, Krishna. So even Lord Vishnu wanted to see Krishna's. See? And even the gopis, when they were in the forest, they were looking for Krishna. Krishna manifested his 4-armed Narayan or Vishnu form. And what did the gopis say? They said, you know, they offered their obeisances, but they said, Lord, have you seen Krishna? They were not even attracted to this 4-handed form of Krishna, but they wanted to see the real, original form of Krishna. And offer your homage unto Krishna. Whatever we have in life, we should be using Krishna's service. I think it was a lady, she was the Miss Denmark. She was considered to be the most beautiful lady in the competition, but she was a devotee. So she used her beauty to spread Krishna consciousness. Ambarish Maharaj, or Ambarish Prabhu, the great Alfred Ford, the great grandson of Henry Ford, he's a devotee. He has wealth, but what is he using with it? He's not squandering it. He's not keeping it in his bank account. He's using it to help the TOVP, build the TOVP. So that's proper use of wealth. And then Krishna's promise is that we can go to Krishna. And then we become very dear to Krishna. Krishna has many names, and one of his names is Bhaktavatsal. What does this mean? The best friend of the devotee, very dear to the devotee. So Krishna is a very wonderful person. Not just any person, but the Supreme Person, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And I want to conclude This human form of life is a very rare and wonderful opportunity to render service to Krishna. But we don't have a taste for serving Krishna. We want to try to enjoy this material world. You know, Lord Brahma, his realization was many people speak that they know of Krishna. You know, but Lord Brahma, he says, as for me, I can't fathom the glories of Krishna. And that's our best friend, Krishna, you know. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says how unfortunate we are that we don't have a taste for chanting the holy name. But yeah, we have a taste for the opposite sex, we have a taste for this, wealth. But when it comes to chanting the holy name, we don't have a taste for it. And there's so much potency and spiritual benefits from chanting Krishna's holy name, even just by chanting it once. There's so much benefit. But we're so unfortunate we don't have this taste. So before chanting, I would like to see if anyone has any questions or comments, reflections. Yes, Prabhu. Be careful, Tapas might be watching. In Bhagavatam class, when someone has a question, he'll call us out. Prabhu, use the mic. So Tapas is here in person.
Hare Krishna, Babaji. Thank you very much. So in the case of King Bharata, is it natural to help anyone who is in difficult situation? So the deer, which is mother deer, and
Sure.
it's natural for anyone to help. What is the sin he has done, and eventually he got trapped, fell in love, and eventually took another birth as a deer? Why? How do we explain this?
So some devotees, they explain that this is also a pastime of Krishna through his devotees. See, and also they say one fall down that caused Bharat Maharaj to fall down was that he had no association. No one was telling him, Prabhu, you're getting a little attached to this deer, you know. So he didn't have any association. It's by divine arrangement also. Krishna put Arjuna, a great devotee, an internal associate of Krishna, Arjuna himself, into illusion. That's why Krishna had to speak Bhagavad Gita. So there's cautionary tales, you know, like that. So, and it's natural, like you said, to develop affection, especially one who's in the care, in our care. It's described that one can abandon a family member for the sake of the family. And the example is Duryodhana. Dhritarashtra had 100 sons and 1 daughter. And Vidura, all of his Bhishma Dev, they were telling him, abandon the son. You know, he's going to be the cause of ruins for your dynasty, you know. But Dhritarashtra was so attached to his son. And then his whole family was destroyed. So it's okay, it's not a sin to forsake a family member for a family. It's not a sin to forsake a family for a village. It's not a sin to forsake a village for a city. It's not a sin to for a family, village, city, country. And they said it's not a sin to abandon the world for the sake of the soul. So we should always keep in mind that even this deer who is in our custody is also a spirit soul. So instead of taking care of this deer, he should have chanted Hare Krishna. And at the same time, carry out his spiritual duties, not just his material duties. Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita, abandon all forms of religion. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami mas. Krishna described all these different dharmas. He told, you know, take care of this, you know, and if you can't do this, work for me. If you offer the results, do meditation, so many different dharmas. Eventually, Krishna told him, but forget all these dharmas I told you, and just take shelter of me. I will deliver you from all sinful reactions. So Bhara Maharaj, he forgot the goal, you know. So it's a lesson for all of us. Just because we're wearing tilak, kurta, dhoti, we come to it doesn't mean that we're safe. Bharat Maharaj, he was, like I said, he was in stage of bhava, like very high stage, but he fell down. And who are we, you know? We have such a hard time chanting our 16 rounds, you know? So we have every reason to fall down. But if we take shelter and if we keep chanting, then we eventually will go back to Krishna. Krishna wants us to go back, but he can't force us. There was one teacher here, and she brought her students. They were all devotees. They grew up into the movement. They know what Krishna consciousness is. So she asked a very wonderful question. She said, if Krishna came off the altar right now and asked for your hand and said, if you, come with me to the spiritual world, raise your hand if you would go with Krishna. And out of the 30 students, none of them raised their hand. Imagine that. And she said, why? And the kids, they were saying, oh, I have goals in life, my family, this. Like, you guys know the story of the lady that was carrying a bundle of sticks on her head? She was carrying a very heavy burden, a very old lady. And the sticks dropped, and then Krishna appeared. I said, how may I help you, Mataji? And instead of asking for pure devotional service, she said, please help put these sticks back on my head. So we cannot go to Krishna if we don't have that desire. See? The love that we're looking for in this material world, the happiness, it's just a flickering, it's a shadow of what we can really find in the spiritual world. You know. Anyone else have a question? Okay, so the last portion we'll be chanting one round of the Hare Krishna mantra. Do we have beads that we pass around? I think so. This chanting of Hare Krishna is compared to a sincere cry like a child to its mother. Now those who have children, you can understand from the different types of cry of the child, isn't it? When they when they have this wah, 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 it's not so important, you know. But if they're really, really crying, then you run to them immediately, isn't it? So this chanting of Hare Krishna is like that. The sincere chanting can bring Krishna closer. My spiritual master, he's so busy. But he said his favorite time of the day is to chant his japa. There's no other better things to do with our time than hearing about Krishna, glorifying Krishna, chanting his holy name. There's nothing better we can do with our time. Tomorrow is Radhashtami, Radharani's appearance day. So it's a wonderful festival. I hope everyone can join.
Already 8 o'clock. You're going to start chanting now?
I think so.
It's already 8 o'clock.
What do we usually do at 8?
You have to, then you're going to chanting, then you should stop at 7:40.
7:45.
7:45.
Okay.
15 minutes of chanting.
Okay.
Now the last session is at 8:15.
Okay.
So this 15 minutes left for them to take prasadam and come back.
Do you guys want to take prasadam or chant?
Yes.
Chanting?
Question.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. And there'll always be prasadam. But chanting, maybe this is the only time you'll chant the holy name. So we should take it and strive for it. Okay. You want to chat, Tapas? Okay. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Bol. Srila Prabhupada, before he took his meal, he would chant at least 4 rounds. You know, he felt like he had to earn his prasadam. So thank you for coming. Thank you for chanting. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So now there's prasadam, or if you want, you can take darshan and then take prasadam. Thank you very much. It's nice, huh? To chant.